May 23, 1934. A quiet dirt road in Louisiana. 6 officers hidden in the bushes, their fingers on triggers, their eyes locked on a single target. A tan Ford V8 appears over the hill. Inside, America's most wanted couple. Clyde Barrow, 25 years old, Bonnie Parker, 23. In seconds, over 130 rounds of ammunition tear through the vehicle. The couple who terrorized 5 states for 21 months is gone. But how did it come to this? How did a 19-year-old waitress become one of America's most notorious criminals? This is Project Mansion, and this is the true story of Bonnie and Clyde. Act 1. The Beginning. West Dallas, 1930. The Great Depression had crushed America. 1 in 4 people were unemployed. Banks were foreclosing on families. Hope was dying. Bonnie Elizabeth Parker was 19, smart, restless, and trapped in a life of poverty. Her husband, Roy Thornton, was in prison. She didn't bother divorcing him. She just stopped waiting. Then, in January 1930, she met Clyde Chestnut Barrow at a friend's house. He was 21, already a criminal, already dangerous. They locked eyes, and within weeks, they were inseparable. February 1930, Clyde arrested for burglary. But the romance was short-lived. Clyde was arrested that February. Bonnie, desperate and in love, smuggled him a gun in March. He escaped, but was captured again days later. He was sent to Eastham Prison farm, a place that didn't just break men, it destroyed them. Act 2. The Transformation. Eastham wasn't just a prison, it was hell. Inmates worked under the brutal Texas sun. Guards shot first, asked questions later. Clyde was beaten, assaulted, humiliated. To survive, he picked up a piece of iron and crushed his attacker's skull. When he walked out 2 years later in 1932, Clyde Barrow was a different man. The charm was gone. What remained was pure hatred for the system that brutalized him, and that hatred became his purpose. When he reunited with Bonnie, she saw the change, but she didn't walk away. She chose him, fully, deliberately. Together they started their crime spree. Small at first, gas stations, grocery stores, rural banks. April 30th, 1932, Hillsborough, Texas. Then came their first murder. John Bucher, a store owner in Hillsborough, Texas. Clyde panicked. He pulled the trigger. Bucher fell dead. The line between outlaw and killer vanished. Act 3. The Reign of Terror. The Barrow Gang was born. Clyde's brother Buck joined, his wife Blanche, and other drifters with nothing to lose. They moved constantly, stolen Fords, switched license plates, slept in abandoned barns. April 13th, 1933, Joplin, Missouri. Then came Joplin, Missouri. April 1933. Police raided their hideout expecting bootleggers. Instead, they walked into a war zone. Clyde and Buck opened fire. 2 officers died before they could even draw their weapons. Inside, police found something that changed everything. Photographs. Bonnie, cigarette in mouth, leaning on a stolen Ford with a revolver on her hip. Clyde smiling, his arm around her. The photos went viral. Newspapers couldn't resist. America met its most dangerous couple. Some called them Robin Hood figures striking back against oppressive banks. Others called them cold-blooded killers. The truth? They were both. By 1934, the embarrassment was unbearable. Governors wanted them stopped at any cost. Enter Frank Hamer, former Texas Ranger, semi-retired, but deadly effective. His mission: hunt down Bonnie and Clyde by any means necessary. Hamer studied them, mapped every robbery, every sighting, every hideout. He noticed their pattern. They always circled back to the same 5 states. He built an informant network, and he found their weakness: Henry Methvin, a gang member whose family lived in Louisiana. Bonnie and Clyde trusted the Methvins. They visited them between jobs. Hamer made a deal with Methvin's father. In exchange for his son's pardon, he would lure the couple into a trap. For 3 days, Hamer's 6-man team waited along Highway 154 in Bienville Parish, Louisiana. Hidden, patient, ready. May 23, 1934. Just after dawn. The Ford appeared, Clyde driving, Bonnie beside him, her hand on his shoulder. They slowed down. Something felt wrong. Hamer raised his hand. The ambush was brutal. Over 130 rounds of ammunition ripped through the Ford in seconds. Clyde died instantly. Bonnie screamed once, then fell silent. Inside the car, shotguns, pistols, rifles, and over 1,500 rounds of ammunition. They were ready for war. By noon, word had spread. Thousands rushed to the scene. People tore at the car for souvenirs. Pieces of Bonnie's dress, shards of glass, even locks of her hair. Their funerals drew massive crowds. But Bonnie's mother denied her daughter's dying wish to be buried beside Clyde. In just 21 months, Bonnie and Clyde killed 13 people. 9 of them were law enforcement officers. They robbed at least 12 banks and stole over 50 cars. Their crime spree became legend, their love story immortalized. On that quiet Louisiana morning, the line between outlaw and icon died with them. This has been Project Mansion. Don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories of history's most fascinating figures.